Uh, hey yo, what's good, Epic Gamers? It's your boy, Contemplates back with another Epic Gamer video. Now, I've been playing a lot of Inscryption lately, so I figured I would make a card tier list of the Kaycee's mod cards, because I am a licensed professional. Now, I'm just looking through a lot of cards. I'm gonna be rating all of them based on how good I think they are. And like whether I would grab them from a pack or not. I know there's no FaceTime in this tier lit, but I don't know. You just have to make do with not seeing me. All right, so first up we have the Adder. Now the Adder is a 2 sacrifice, 1 attack, 1 health with Touch of Death sigil, which means that if it hits something, that thing will instantly die. Which is a good sigil. It's a pretty decent sigil. But 2 sacrifices for a 1/1 with Touch of Death. It'll just like die instantly, like a porcupine would kill it. It's like, I don't know. It's just not all that good. It doesn't do the damage that you need. It's more just to take out like a big enemy. And it'll probably just die right after it does that. It's 2 sacrifices for that. Now, its sigil is... I'm going to put it in C tier instead of D tier, because its sigil is pretty good if you put it on something else, but the Adder just by itself, not a big fan of. Next up, we have the Alpha. Now, the Alpha 1/2 costs 5 bones. It has this thing which makes it so that the things to the left and to the right both gain 1 attack, which is a good sigil as well, just like the Adder. It's very good. You can use to give like your squirrels attack. You can use to give anything extra attack if you want to. You can use to give like a Mantis God 2 attack instead of 1 attack, which is like a win. But I'm also going to have to put this one in C tier. Oh, we'll put it in. No, we'll put it in C tier. It's just not. It's not very good. Like, I'm not a bone guy. I'm not a bone guy. I prefer my sacrifices, not my bones. I want the hand that I can do something with right at the start, and I just don't feel like the bone strategies do that for me. And an Alpha costing 5 bones is a pretty big amount for what it is. It's just not all that worth it to me. Next up, we have the Amalgam. Now, Amalgam, it's 2 sacrifices for a 3/3, and its special thing is that it's all of the kin. Now actually, I like the Amalgam quite a bit. I'm gonna put it. Oh, might be a. I'll see what else I put in A tier, but I might make Amalgam a low A tier. But for now, I'm just gonna stick it in C tier, just because no sigils. It's more meant for like totems. Just getting something really good on the totem, and also is a 3/3 for only 2 sacrifices. It's damage to a wolf, 3 health. It's pretty good. It's just straight up better than a wolf. But it's a rare card too, so it's gonna be better. Next up is the Amoeba. Now I like the Amoeba. I'm gonna put it in B tier. 1 attack, 2 health, only 2 bones, so the same stats as the Alpha for less than half the bones. And they have this question mark sigil, which is just a random sigil, which is a really good effect to have, I think. It's very versatile. I mean, sometimes you're going to get unlucky, but sometimes, hell, you could get the Alpha's 1 attack to each thing sigil to make it just a better version of the Alpha. It's a really good versatile card. I enjoy the Amoeba. Next up is the Worker Ant. Ants are cool. I'm gonna do... Where's the flying ant? There's the flying ant. Can I move that up there? I'm gonna do all the ants at the same time, because I think they should... they're all ants. They should all go in the same spot. I like the ant strategy. I really do like the ant strategy. It's just... It takes a lot of build-up, I'm gonna have to put it... I love the ant strategy, but I'm gonna have to put it... Oh, I'll put it low B tier. Just because I really don't... It's hard to do, but I'm gonna put Ant Queen at the bottom. And Flying Ant in front, because that's the order of how much I like them. If you can get, like, this one... the Field Mice sigil. on one of the flying ant or the worker ant, it's extremely good. But also, if you put the sigil on anything, it's extremely good. We'll get back to that later. And I don't know. I just feel like ant strategy could, in theory, insta kill in one turn, but it also could not. You know, just because it's hard to get out. You need a lot of ants in order to make it really good. So that's why it's low B tier, even though I love the ant strategy. Bat 2/1 flying 4 bones, pretty generic. I don't like it. I don't go for flying, and I also, as I've said, don't go for bones. I'll actually put it less than the alpha. It just doesn't seem worth it. It's just a coyote it's a coyote with flying that costs bones instead of. Or no, the coyote also costs bones. Where's the coyote? It's just a coyote, but it like flies and costs. Where's the coyote? It's literally it's just a coyote, but better in theory. Although the coyote sometimes that flying can be a downside, which is why I put it down here. I put this first. I'll explain myself, because in the ant strategy, if you get a lot of ants on the field at the same time, the flying ant can just attack over and win you the game. But if you don't have really high attack flying things, you can't use them to like take out an opponent's thing. You just use them to do direct damage, which can be good, but for me, I don't like it. So bat we're gonna put below alpha. Beaver, don't like the beaver. First D tier, 2 sacrifices for a 1/3 with this stupid sigil, which makes 2 dams next to it that you can't sacrifice. It just takes up 2 spaces, and I like my spaces, so I'm putting the beaver in D tier because I hate it. You know what? We're gonna go find where's the Douse? Where's the Douse? He's a rare card. Where's the Douse? There's the Douse. Douse also goes in D tier because it's basically the same thing, except it has 1 more attack and 1 less health. These 2 bad cards. I don't like these sigils. They're stupid and I hate them. Beehive, C tier. If it gets hit, it creates B, useful, but no attack. Much better stuff that you can use. You could use like a Warren to get something without having to be attacked. It's just doesn't. It's 1 sacrifice for something that could give you a B, but might not also if you just lose. Next up we have the Bell Ringer. Bell Ringer is. I'm gonna put this top of B tier. No, I'll put the Bell Ringer in A tier. Bell Ringer. So how it works. It gets more attack the closer it is to the bell. So if you put it at the far left spot, it's going to have 4 attack. If you put it at the far right spot, it's going to have 1 or 0. I don't know. Either 1 or 0. It's going to have a low amount of attack. It gets more attack however close it is to the. Well, 4, 3, 2. It would have 1 attack. 1 attack if you put it on the very end, away from the bell. But 4 attack, 2 sacrifices. Oh, actually, it's just a slightly better. I'm actually gonna put it below. I'm gonna put it in B tier. 4 attack, very good. 2 sacrifices. That's more of a 3 sacrifice thing. 4 attack, 4 attack. Whereas the 3 attack. So 4 attack is for a lot of 3 sacrifice things. 2 sacrifice kind of 4 attack is good, but also it doesn't have any kin, which I haven't really talked about kin a lot so far. But here it's really, this one has no kin, so like you won't be able to use Totem Suicide or anything to bat too. Same with the Beaver, and also the Douse. So yeah, it's going to be below Amalgam because it can potentially have 1 more damage for the same amount of sacrifices, but also no kin. Next up, the Black Goat. Black Goat is A tier. 3 blood thing, very good for some expensive decks. If you get like a cat sacrifice on there, you're good to go, you know? Or a field nice thing. You're set, you know? You're just good. if you got that black goat. There's a starting deck that starts with the black goat, and I really like that starting deck. I can see why some people wouldn't, but I enjoy that starting deck. Black goat, first A tier. Bloodhound. Bloodhound is 2 attack, 3 health. This thing, which I think is the one that moves when you place something. Which one does the mole have? I think that's the one for when the opponent places a card. Yeah. So when an opponent places, when a card moves into a space, a bloodhound will come over to go into that space, just like take the hit. 2 sacrifices, 2/3. It's reverse stats of the wolf. That sigil is not very helpful in my experience. It can be, but for a 2 sacrifice with only 3 health, it's just not really good as like a guard, and also with 2 attack, it's not very good. It's not all that great as an attack. There are, lower cost cards that also have 2 attack. There are some. I swear. There's 1 sacrifice, 1 attack for 2 attack, right? This is 1 sacrifice for potentially a lot of attack. We'll get to that later, though. Okay, I've been corrected. There are not less costly things with the same amount of attack, but there are a lot of things that cost the same amount with more attack. So, it's middle of the pack. I'll put it top of C. It's alright. I'm just not a huge fan. Next up, we have the bullfrog. 1 second. Now, the bullfrog is pretty darn good. I like the bullfrog. Actually, I'm not a huge fan of the bullfrog. I lied to you guys. It's, 1 sacrifice for a 1/2 that blocks flying. Blocking flying is pretty good. There's only, 1 other card that does that. So, block flying is a pretty good thing to have, especially on some of those, turkey vulture encounters where he just throws down a bunch of turkey vultures. It's really annoying. Bullfrog can be helpful for that. But only 1 attack, 2 health. Oh, it's not that great. But, being that lizard adder kin makes it pretty good. So I'll put it B tier. Next up, we have the hand size card. I very much like this card. I'm going to put it A tier. It's 1 sacrifice for potentially a lot of attack. Only 1 health, but with this card, you can, 1 turn kill OTK. So the 1 health doesn't matter that much. Especially you can get, flying on it. As I said, flying is only really good if you have a way to kill them with that flying, and this is certainly a way to do that. If you have a system to get a lot of cards in your hand, like a Warren maybe with field mice, or with Undying, then you're pretty good. You can get a lot of cards, and that'll give it a lot of attack. So, cheap for lots of attack potentially. So A tier. Cat. Oh, I'm gonna put a top B. I don't think it's as good as the black goat, because if you have a cat and a black goat, you want to give the black goat the infinite sacrifice. You don't want to give the cat the 3 blood, because the black goat is kin. It's kin with the woodland creatures. Cat does not have any kin, so you want to give the black goat infinite sacrifice, and that way you have infinite sacrifice. And you can also put a sigil on, maybe a perhaps a magpie. Ooh, the search sigil. It's good to have. You can have that with woodland creatures. You're pretty good to go. So yeah, black goat, or not black goat, we're talking about the cat. Cat high B tier, pretty good. The infinite sacrifice is great. In the normal game, it's like one of the first cards you can get, so it's pretty good. I like it. Child 13, black cat, but it's going to be A tier because it can attack after you sacrifice it. If you have these two cards, you want to sacrifice the black. You want to give the Child 13 the 3 blood because it's also woodlandkin, but after you sacrifice it the first time, it becomes a flying dragon thing with 2 health, 2 attack and 1 health, I think. And it can do some damage while also still being that infinite sacrifice thing for you. See, a Child 13 goes above cat for being just a cat, but also kin, like the wolf, like the black goat, and also being able to attack. Next up, we have the cockroach. Cockroach's sigil is probably S tier, but the cockroach himself, I'm gonna have to put in A tier. A tier because of his sigil. I don't like the cockroach himself. I try to get him out of my deck as fast as possible because, as I have said many times, I don't like bones. I don't do bone strategies. It's not my thing. It's not my cup of tea. So cockroach, pretty high A just because of the sigil, not because I like the cockroach himself. I don't like the cockroach. Next up, corpse maggots. They're not that good, but I really like corpse maggots. I'm gonna put them not as good as cat, not as good as I'll put it C. High C. I like corpse maggots. The ability is pretty good. If something dies, it just goes and replaces it. I like that. I don't love it though. Like if I had something better, I would take it. But corpse maggots they're a decent thing to have, Next up we have Coyote, which is just bat, but I like it more because it's not flying. To attack, you can use that to take out some kind of big thing, like you can use it to get some damage in on a raven or something like that. It's pretty good. I like it. It's a bat, but I think it's better because I don't like flying. Except I do like flying in certain situations. It's a whole thing. I don't know, man. It's my list. It's not yours. Cuckoo. I'm a cuckoo fan. I'll put him above a bullfrog. His sigil makes it so that when you play it, the card opposite of it has a broken egg put on it, so your opponent can't put anything there. And then also it's flying, so it can attack over that broken egg and just do a free 1 damage every turn without your opponent being able to do anything to stop it. However, there is a chance that the broken egg turns out to be a raven egg instead. And if that happens, then you're in trouble. Because ravens are kind of cool, or kind of good for your opponent to have, but bad for you if your opponent has it. So, Cuckoo, B tier. It's pretty cool. I like it. Direwolf. Oh, I've heard a lot of people say they don't like Direwolf, but I love Direwolf. I like high attack sacrifice things. It's you can use, if you give it just 1 more attack at a campfire, it's a 1-turn kill if you get a black goat. That you can get that black goat search ability that I was talking about earlier, and then you get a free 1-turn kill with the direwolf as long as you can get the black goat out. I like the direwolf. Not. I don't love the direwolf. I like the direwolf. I'm gonna put it above the amalgam. I like the wolfkin. I like the high attack guys. They're pretty cool. I'm a big fan. Direwolf Pup. I also like the Direwolf Pup. Significantly less though. Top of C tier. Becomes a direwolf after 1 turn, but 2 sacrifices for a 1/1 that gives you a single bone. Not sure I'm a big fan of that. But it becomes a direwolf, so it's not terrible. It's just not great. It's, I think, the weakest 2 sacrifice with that 1/1. It can do stuff though. Elk Fawn. Elk Fawn. I'm going to put that at a solid D tier, top of D tier. It's 1 sacrifice for a 1/1 that moves and becomes an elk after 1 turn. It's 1 sacrifice for a garbage thing that becomes a slightly less garbage thing, but still pretty garbage. So not the best, not the best. And not something that I would say is worth it. You know, I'm not a big fan of the woodland unless you have the goat, unless you're doing the woodland deck, in which case woodland is fine. Elk fawn is good if you have a certain totem going on that gives your elk fawn a lot more attack, or a lot more better sigils. So yeah, it's just so far. I'll be right back.